morning, viewers, to Careers Bistro. My name is Monique Adams. It's a Friday, and as you can see right next to me, we have a guest. He's on the front page of today's Careers publication. You can catch that in our dailies, the Allgemeine Zeitung, the Republican, as well as the Sun. So make sure you grab yourself a copy. Good morning, Mr. Dennis.
Good morning, Monique.
Well, he is the newly appointed director of the Goethe-Institut Namibia. How are you this morning?
Very well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. Well, can you just tell us about like your background story?
All right, where to start? So, I come from a fairly small place in Germany, in the north. Spent my first 20 years there before I went to university. In fact, you know, my family lived since 3 generations in the same street.
Okay.
So I guess it was time for someone to, you know, explore the world.
Yes.
And that's what I did. So after my university, I spent time, I worked mostly in Asia and the Middle East, also in the US a little bit. And now I'm fortunate enough to, made it to Namibia.
Yes. In your article that I wrote, you mentioned about, you know, you studied at Harvard. How was that experience like?
Wow, it's kind of Disneyland for adults, seriously. I think it was one of the best years in my life. First of all, you know, you come there and think like, why me?
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen, right?
Yeah.
And then you realize that most of the people, if not all of the people you meet there, have the same kind of feeling. It's a very humbling experience. And I mean, the ideas, the inspiration you're exposed to there, that was just mind-blowing. But it also helped me to find, like, okay, what do I really want?
Yes.
Some people call it the midlife crisis program. I hope I wasn't there yet, but it's particularly for people who have already some work experience, since I also worked for a couple of years somewhere else. Well, and I think that helps to readjust, to realign your professional career with what you really want in life, and well.
So how it really groomed you into the person that you are today?
It did, I think. It did, yes, yes.
And your trips that you made, like to Asia, what were you doing there? If you could just tell us.
Yeah, so in my mid-late 20s, I started working in Sri Lanka on academic collaboration between Germany and Sri Lanka and the wider region. And there we supported academic and scientific collaboration between the 2 countries. After Sri Lanka, I did the same in Iran. We had the great opportunity to work in this. It wasn't always easy, but well, that was in a time that was different. During the nuclear deal, science diplomacy was the big thing, and we tapped into that as well. And I think, well, professionally and also personally, I learned a lot there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So arriving at Namibia, what has been one of the highlights, you would say?
I really think the kindness of the people. So my family and I arrived here 5.5 weeks ago. And the impressions were amazing. So we feel extremely welcome. People are very, very helpful. I find the atmosphere, despite the situation we're all in, not as tense as I have experienced it last year in Asia, but also in Germany. Okay. Which is very, very positive. Well, and then, I mean, green windhoek is quite something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Loving the green. So with your working career, what is one of the challenges you faced and how have you overcome them?
So I think one of the biggest challenges is always when you come to a new place that you think, okay, I know what's going on because I've been in the similar role before, so I know how to deal with the challenges that arise or that are there. Which I believe, I mean, jumping into conclusions, I think, and I learned actually, is never a good idea. So also for this post here, I will really take my time to listen, to learn, to listen to as many people as possible, to learn as much as I can, and then carefully take the first decisions step by step. So I think these are the internal challenges, not jumping into conclusion. External challenges, well, I mean, I mentioned Iran, and that was politically quite a tough environment. However, by using science, arts and innovation and bringing people from, let's say, with different political ideas together to solve joint problems. I think by doing that we actually found a way to overcome some challenges.
So in some of the achievements, the highlights of your career, working career that really stands out for you? Yeah,
well, so I talked a little bit about my background. So I'm coming from a working class background. In fact, I was the first person in my whole wider family who saw a university from the inside. And if you ask me about what stood out, I think personally the step from the environment where I came from to higher education, already there I felt like that was maybe the kind of the foundation stone of where I am today, actually. So I would put it there.
Lovely. Yeah. So, what change do you think you'll bring to the Goethe-Institut as the new director?
So first of all, I'd love to continue the great work that has been done in the past. What I always did wherever I went, so my problem is actually I am interested in too many things.
Oh, that's a problem now.
Yeah, kind of, because you kind of get spread thin sometimes. So what I would love to do is to blend arts and cultures with topics and themes that connect and that are meaningful and that make sense here. So I would love to connect the arts and culture with economics, with conservation, maybe with tourism, with you name it. So environmentalism, maybe, so that we see, okay, arts and culture have a value in itself, but sometimes actually they can help with communicating other issues. Yes. For example, creative entrepreneurship. I feel like our creatives have suffered all over the board, all over the world tremendously, in the past year. And if we can do something to help them, or not necessarily to help, to support them in, getting out of this, maybe use innovation to get over this crisis.
So what does Dennis get up to when he's not in the office, meeting after meeting, in your free time?
Well, frankly speaking, right now, looking for a house. So putting the roots down. I mean, I'm here with my wife and my 2 kids. So, after office, it's kids' time. It's family time. Family time. Family time. Looking for a home for the family. But in the future, I want to see the rest of the country.
Travel a little bit.
Yes, travel. Get a bigger impression. Being out in nature. Yeah. Before we came here, with a short stopover in Germany, we lived in Bhutan. Bhutan is a kingdom in the Himalayas. And, I mean, we had access to nature there, and I hope I will have the access to nature here as well. That would be fantastic.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Or here.
Just here?
In Windhoek. In Namibia, yes. So I hope to spend the next 5 to 6 years here. Our life has been quite a roller coaster over the past 10 years. We lived in so many different countries, and which sounds great, but frankly speaking, it's exhausting. Yeah. And I feel like this is really a place here where we can spend some more time, do meaningful work, meet great people, and so we'll be here.
So any word of advice you would give to, aspiring entrepreneurs or philosophers?
Well, I'm not a philosopher myself, but I think generally be open-minded. Don't let others tell you what to do. Make your own decisions, but also have enough empathy not to get, don't get full of yourself. Don't become full of yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And discipline, dreams, determination, I think are the fundament of a successful life. Yeah. Yeah.
Great
Not only career, but I think both have to come together, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Well, guys, it has come to an end. I really enjoyed this conversation with a well-traveled, well-spoken man over here. Thank you so much, Dennis, for joining me in studio. I really wish you nothing but the best with your new appointment, and I hope that achieve everything in the relationship with Germany and Namibia, build a meaningful and stable and, peaceful relationship. And nothing but the best with you and your family, and welcome to Namibia.
Thank you so much, Monique. Thanks for having me again.
There we have it, guys. My name is Monique Adams. This is Careers Bistro. See you again next time, same place, and we're out.